Welcome everyone for another match of the Fangbooth 6. Here is the fourth quarterfinal between Indecisive, the former champion of PCC 5, facing against North American Reject, the NA team that joined the EU tournament. And here we are going to focus on Nyzah for that match because he played the Kallari. Kallari is normally like a pretty common pick on the NA scene, but on EU it's not that common. And here you're going to see how Nyzah are going to just make Crazzyfool lose his mind by not being able to play on his howitzer. Fourth quarterfinal of the Fangbooth 6, second match between Indecisive and North American Reject. Indecisive, our former champion from PCC 5, while North American Reject, the NA team that joined the EU realm. And here, we're gonna focus onto Nyzah that is playing the Kallari jungle. While we're facing like kind of like a pretty like beefy team comp when it comes like the Sevrog, the Quang in the front line, but Narbash, Drongo, howitzer, like a lot of interesting target for that Kallari. And I think that was the first Kallari we see in the Fangbooth 6 because I think it was the only time she was picked in the quarterfinal. So that was interesting to see, and also like to see a little bit more of Nyzah, that initially Nyzah is an offlaner main, but adapted his position for like this game. And here we can see that there is a ward onto the red buff that is immediately being dewarded here on the side of Nyzah. And so Nyzah like here kind of still like can go for blue buff, can go for red buff. Enemy team doesn't know, but of course we're a Kallari, so probably we're starting red buff nonetheless. So like this ward, basically what this ward does is offering like 20 gold and a little bit of experience to the... I don't know if ward give experience, but definitely give gold. And so here we're gonna like secure the first red buff, enemy Quang in the jungle. And then we'll see like what type of passing we are looking for. So we're actually going for the level 2 gank immediately. But Crazzyfool saw the ward, very like nice ward here by Crazzyfool to be able to counter that gank and also make Nyzah like lose a lot of time, because if the ward is here, like Nyzah is just gonna deward and go for a 2 camp immediately. But because the ward was a little bit deep down, that means that no Nyzah, like this whole like walking to try to gank the mid lane is actually like kind of wasted time. And so we're going to go for 2 camp and then we just like ignore the 5 camp. Kallari is not very good at clearing the 5 camp, so Nyzah has decided to not go for it and he's going to go immediately for the blue buff. And maybe we're going to go back like here. You can keep the farm going, or you can actually like look for like the river buff, which I think like from the positioning Nyzah is having is probably like going for. We get the level 3. And here we're looking for the left river buff. While howitzer smartly going for the opposite river buff. So we're not stealing that, but now we're going to try to go for the gank. Again onto the mid lane. Oh, we got the security gate. That's a lot of burst. That's gonna be the flash immediately out of that howitzer, and that's already like a lot of damage. While on the other side, we're looking for a gank into Moros, but Moros is just like swiftly disengaging this aggression, and so Gratti is just gonna secure the teal buff in that situation. And then we get Nyzah coming back for the rotation. Moros trying like to bait a little bit. We do get like and we do get like a flash as well. And here we do have Gratti coming back, and so we get 2 flash, but Nyzah expanding his flash for this second situation, and he's gonna help like crush the wave here. Maybe not here. Actually, we get the second wave, and so Nyzah going back to farming. And for now, already like 3 gank attempted, while only like 3 camp being cleared. And so that's like a little bit of the difference when you're playing with a Kallari, is like looking for different like it's a little bit different than just like normal clearing. You have a lot of gank potential and making like the map a little bit unreadable for the enemy team. But as you can see, Gratti is already level 4, while Nyzah is still only level 3. 2 camp is back up already, so we're probably gonna farm that. But actually we're looking at another gank into mid lane. Oh, we missed the mine. We missed the dagger. here. That's gonna be like a kill secured. And so Nyzah skipping the 2 camp to go for another gank. Crazzyfool already being ganked 3 times by that Kallari in less than 5 minutes. It's probably something that you don't like a lot, but that's what happened when you're playing against a Kallari. You're gonna get like ganked a lot. So we're just gonna go for the reset here. I wonder what's gonna be the first item. Probably like Malady. Usually you go Malady on the Kallari jungle to be able to clear camp more efficiently, because the clear is not ideal otherwise. And also like the Malady kind of works with this idea of one-shotting people while you're playing like the jungler, because like you're gonna get like those stack of Malady pretty efficiently. Because normally like every time you appear somewhere, that should be a kill for your team. So here the red buff is going to respawn pretty soon. No river buff, so I guess that's where like Nyzah is going to head. And after that red buff, like maybe we're gonna look at a gank mid lane again. But we're actually going to go for the 5 camp here, so we kind of slow down, probably gonna get the 5 camp, then we're looking for potentially like I guess river buff on the timing, or maybe like some aggression. We see that we do have like TSC that has gone back to base, so maybe that was like the reason we don't go for any gank in mid lane, because TSC was willing to go back to base. This Howitzer flash is still like down, so we're probably like looking for maybe like keep taking advantage of it. And here we do have Nyzah going for the invade onto the 3 camp. So far has been like invisible to the enemy team. And then maybe it's gonna try like advantage of like this. Oh, actually leaving like 1 minion here. Oh, colossal blow, both on their tower. Unfortunately, like no subjugate to follow up, probably have been already used, and so here like Nyzah can't really like afford to stay too much. Probably gonna take the teal buff for himself to get his level 6 before he go back. I guess he wanted a fast recall. And we ended up dying from the teal buff, but at least we secured the teal buff for his Murdoch. That was a kind of a little bit Pepega, not gonna lie. This teal buff, I've killed many offlaner and jungle, I think, in this game. So we're still working towards our level 6. Actually, Gratty is not level 6 yet, and is actually like not that far ahead when it comes to farm, so that's a little bit surprising. I guess like Nyzah like getting a little bit of farm out of the laners when he go for the gank, notably in the offlane, sharing experiences with Moros. That's probably like one of the reasons he's actually like managing pretty well. And here you do find like Gratty, and that's gonna be like a kill. Gratty being on the 2 camp while being kind of low, and so they're just getting punished here. Nyzah using the ultimate at close range. Crazzyfool under the tower. ManQ is going like to try to be aggressive. We get like a lot of damage. We're just waiting, I guess, like for a wave. We get like the double dagger plus death mark. Crazzyfool is going to be 1 HP. And get the flash. Dagger. And no, it's being blocked by Toasty. So, oh, when we go for the Tesla Dome flash. Well, flash Tesla Dome. And that's gonna be like a kill. But now that means that probably TSC is just like dead. So, probably like not worth it to expend that much to actually like get the kill onto this Crazzyfool that you already get the flash, you already force Crazzyfool back. You don't have to expend like that flash Tesla Dome. Like that's 2 very big cooldown that in the end only give you like a little bit of gold, but give more gold to the enemy team, because then you get killed while you kind of have like a mini shutdown on yourself. So this type of play, we have to stop doing them because they're not worth it. So we're going back to base. I assume with like Onet Chris and Topper Reaper, it's enough to finish the first item from Nyzah. And as you can see here is the malady being completed. So now the clear time is going to be much better. But at the same time here, this dual lane from H-Friend that actually stepping in from for Cabodani, because it was late in the day, actually worked out, is doing well. 2-0, Nyzah 2-1-1. Here we're looking at maybe like some aggression on Nitro. But Nitro is not really like playing, so I guess we're gonna go finally farm the 5 camp. So the malady helping quite a lot when it comes to the clear time of like camps that have more than 1 minion. Oh, it's there still no flash, so that's probably like something that we're looking to focus on. Get the level 8, so we're maxing the invisibility here as the second choice. Some people prefer maxing the death mark for more burst damage. And here we have like, ooh, the very nice guillotine into the air, catching the ultimate. And so yeah, Howitzer not really being able to really play the match. Every time he's near like a ledge like that, he has to be careful. And Nyzah actually like getting ahead of Crazzy when it comes to farming the jungle, despite the amount of gank he has been like butting. And here we get like a lot of damage, the death mark. Crazzy is still like 1 HP. Probably like if the sticky mine connect, it's maybe a kill, but sticky mine doesn't connect, so it's just gonna be like the wave being pushed. And you can see here, Nyzah go for a very like heavy rotation like gank playstyle, as you should with the Kallari, but to stay like pretty high onto a level is actually like shoving a lot of lane with his laners. So here we're just gonna go for the reset. In the end, the counter engage was pretty good, but that means that was at the cost, I guess, like on a lot of damage on the tier 1 tower and dual lane, and maybe actually lost the tier 1 tower and dual lane. So it's okay, but it's like once again like a heavy rotation to only get a kill back. And we get the next finish on it Chris, so a lot of physical penetration here, already like 12 physical penetration plus 12 from the next, so we have 24 physical penetration. And here we're going to start with the double buff, red plus blue. This Fangbooth while we have priority on the dual lane. And so this Fangbooth is going to die pretty quickly because the damage of Kallari on objective, on early objective, is actually like very, very strong. You don't tank that well the objective, but you deal a lot of damage very fast. And so you can see first Fangbooth of the game being found. We're looking at maybe if we can catch someone. We're trying to be invisible. Oh, we do see Gratti. And here we do get the sunk. A lot of damage. Force the guillotine away, so... Ooh, nice tether. We get a little bit of a replay bug. But Nyzah is just like out. There was no follow-up potential. We didn't use the ultimate to try to go there. Because that was like a nice sword over the wall. And here in the meantime, in the mid lane, we do have like some maybe collapse going on onto TSC. Trying to find the pick. We do go for the Tesla Dome, trying to do as much damage as he can before he die. We do get Mind Cube, getting a lot of damage. TSC ended up like dying, but we also lose the Narbash. And here, it's probably going to be like the end of that engagement. And so once again, trading 1-for-1. North American reject, going for those aggressive moves, but unfortunately like not being enough to have a clean disengage afterwards.
Allied tower under attack.
You won't know I'm gone.
So Nyzah is going to reset. working towards the next item. So as you can see, like after the very early like aggressive gank presence, now we kind of slow down a little bit. We do get the malady. Farming jungle is becoming like much more efficient. You can also like get like objective, and that's like what Nyzah is starting like to focus on a little bit more. Here we can see like he's dewarding, and he's gonna start like the mini prime with the fact that they have priority on the mid lane, priority on the off lane, and so that's gonna be like a free mini prime for the side of team Indecisive. And they're gonna offer the orb prime, well, the mini prime onto these Grux. And Crazzyfool, not respecting the potential menace of an invisible Kallari, just get picked up once again. Nyzah missed like a dagger, but in the end it didn't matter, he had like enough damage. And so now like with Crazzyfool dead and the fact that Nyzah is actually like being a nuisance in the jungle here, like they can like take a lot of damage, and they're gonna secure the tier 2 tower in mid lane, I think. Nobody to capture the local gold, but still it's another tier 2 tower being found. We got the rotation of everyone. They do have to be careful. We do go for the flash Tesla Dome again. TSC kind of love to go for like this play, it seems, in that match. Nyzah trying like to zone as much as, well, zone himself as much as he can to not be found. And here it's gonna be like another pickup. Nyzah no mana, forced to go back to lane, while the rest of Indecisive is probably looking for just disengaging as well. I guess here we go for the reset, spend all the golds that we have. Vanquisher being finished on Nyzah, and we're probably gonna start preparing the next Fangbooth, which will be the second Fangbooth of this game. And yeah, Indecisive is just like super far ahead at that point. The enemy team doesn't seem to be finding like any good opportunity to create space, or like every time they go for a rotation they just ended up trading. So Indecisive seems to having like the upper end in that match without too many issues so far. So a little bit invade of the 5 camp. We take also like control. We see that the Fangbooth is respawning, so everyone is collapsing on it except Moros, and that's gonna be like a free Fangbooth for themselves. As you can see, they're trying to gank Moros. Moros like trying to go like for the, actually Moros going for the 1v2 and winning the 1v2 while his team is on the Fangbooth. So already you go for the gank to actually like, which costs you the Fangbooth, but on top of that you lose the gank. And if you start losing like fight that you have a numerical advantage, that's gonna be like too rough for actually like coming back into that match. So here we try like to be aggressive onto Crazzyfool. Crazzyfool trying to defend the tier 2 tower when 4 people of the enemy team is around. That's not really like a good position to be in. ManQ actually taking like 2 tower shots and being at 1 HP is gonna end up dying. In the end here, Indecisive a little bit out of position. We do have Nyzah trying to help like this TSC that ended up like being out of position, and so ManQ and TSC being out of position. But even with like this super out of position situation, they still like managed to end up trading like someone, which is not a good sign. And so here we do have Nyzah and Moros maybe looking for something. Gonna steal the enemy jungle. They can't really like pressure objective because the enemy team is up, but they can actually like deny a lot of farm and gold for the enemy team by just like removing every single jungle camp around. Oh, we tried to steal that, but good sunk, but unfortunately like no follow-up. And now we're going to go for the reset. I guess the side of Indecisive will be looking for this R prime for themselves when it respawns. Like they're that far ahead that they can actually like look for it with the amount of damage they get from the Grux, the Gadget, the Murdoch, the Kallari. It's definitely like even at 20 minutes, it's definitely something that can be looking for.
Sleep.
I guess Crazzyfool loved playing this match on the Howitzer, but he's playing against a Kallari, so realistically speaking, he can never be alone on the map, and he's always seems to be alone on the map, so Nyzah is just gonna abuse that every time he can. So we got a little bit of a replay bug, as sometimes it happens.
Killing spree.
And we do find the solo kill onto Laconator from H-Fran. To be fair, carry battle on ping is kind of tough. And so that means that 4 people get killed, and so that's gonna be the R prime for the side of Team Indecisive. And so we got the R prime, we're just gonna go reset with everyone. And then we're just gonna try to pressure. They have a little bit of time before the Fangbooth respawns, so they can either like keep control of the map out of it and just like keep like the pressure up. And if they seems that they want to get also the triple Fangbooth before to go for the siege, they can go for it. That's definitely a possibility. They can also like skip it, like they're that far ahead that it doesn't really matter at that point. Crazzyfool going Obelisk when he was getting camped that much by the Kallari. And here we try like to go in, we do get the next. We try to get Laconator, we kind of force a lot of things, but we dodge with like the... Oh, we try to get the dagger onto Laconator. Not good enough. Here we're like baiting everyone around and we kind of force like all 4 people to be nearby. Here Nyzah like is dancing with them, and finally Moros is arriving. The rest of the team is going to come. We try to go for the seismic assault. We do connect on Nitro. A little bit of damage is being dealt. And here we're gonna secure this tier 2 tower while TSC is pressuring like the mid inhibitor. They try to collapse on TSC, but now they're gonna get like collapse from behind. They try to chase the kill. In the end, they go for a little bit too much of a chase. Crazzyfool get absolutely obliterated by that flash seismic assault. Moros is following into Laconator. They're gonna find like the second pick. TSC is just baiting the whole enemy team, and despite this 1v3 against TSC, TSC managed to find like a pick by himself. And so here it's just like, yeah, Indecisive were just too strong for North American Reject, it seems. And that's just gonna be like the end of that match. Just absolute dominance here, and Indecisive advancing towards the semi-final.